Stop. Do not spend that quarter. Because the ugly, dark, worthless-looking 2001 P-State quarter sitting in your change could be hiding big money. I'm talking hundreds, thousands, and in rare, jaw-dropping cases, life-changing value. And here's the twist. This coin looks like it shouldn't be worth anything at all. This story starts in 2001, right in the middle of the state quarters boom. America was obsessed. Banks were overwhelmed. The Philadelphia Mint was running flat out, pushing machines to their limits just to keep up. And when speed replaces caution, strange things happen. A small number of quarters left the mint already looking old, dull, dirty, lifeless. The kind of coin people assume has been dragged through a parking lot for years. No shine, weak details, weird gray and brown coloring. People didn't save them. They didn't collect them. They spent them. And that's how hidden treasure quietly slipped into circulation. Now let me grab your attention again, because this is where collectors got chills. Years later, error specialists began noticing something off about certain 2001 P quarters. These coins weren't worn the way normal pocket change wears. The rims were often sharp. The high points didn't match circulation wear. And no matter how much you cleaned them, the shine never came back. When the first examples were professionally authenticated, the verdict shocked everyone. These weren't dirty coins. They were mint errors. And suddenly, these ugly quarters became big money. One certified 2001 P quarter struck through heavy grease sold at a public auction for over $900. Another extreme example, with missing letters and a ghost-like design, sparked a bidding war and crossed $1,600. For a coin most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up. Now slow down, because this is how you identify one. First, check the date. It must say 2001. Second, look for the P mint mark, just to the right of George Washington's ponytail. No P. Walk away. Now study the surfaces closely. Genuine, old and dirty, 2001 P quarters often show dark gray or charcoal coloration, muddy brown or uneven toning, a dull, matte finish with no cartwheel luster, grainy or lifeless texture. If the coin looks worn, but the wear doesn't make sense, or the rim still looks crisp, you may be holding hidden treasure. Now let me reset your attention, because it gets even crazier. Many of these coins are struck through grease errors. Thick grease clogged the dies during minting, muting the design and softening details. Letters can appear faded or partially missing. Entire sections of the design may look weak or washed out. Certified examples regularly sell for $400 to $1,500, depending on how dramatic the strike is. But that's not the big shock. Some 2001 P quarters were struck off-center. The design is visibly shifted, sometimes dramatically. If the date and mint mark are fully visible, these coins can bring $2,000 to $5,000. One eye-catching off-center 2001 P quarter sold publicly for over $6,000 because of its bold appearance. Now brace yourself, because this is where collectors' pulses spike. Missing clad layer errors. Modern quarters are supposed to have a nickel-clad outer layer over a copper core. Some 2001 P quarters lost that outer layer before striking. The result? A copper-colored coin that feels lighter, looks wrong, and instantly raises alarms. Authenticated examples have sold between $3,000 and $8,000, depending on condition. That's a quarter someone once spent for 25 cents. That's life-changing value for some people. Now let me pull your attention back again, because most people miss this detail. Check the lettering. Some 2001 P quarters show double die errors, especially in Liberty and In God We Trust. Look for notching, separation, or clear doubling that doesn't match damage. Minor double die sell for $300 to $700. Strong examples have crossed $2,000 at auction. And do not ignore the rim. Broad strike 2001 P quarters exist. These were struck without a proper collar, causing the rim to spread outward and look wide and flat. Pair that wide rim with the dull, dirty surface, and collectors go wild. Documented sales range from $1,000 to $3,500. Here's the emotional punch. These coins aren't locked away in museums. They're not sitting in millionaire collections. They're still out there, right now. In old jars. In bankrolls. In couch cushions. Coins people have already spent, recently. That's what makes this story powerful. Because big money doesn't always look shiny. Sometimes hidden treasure looks ugly. Sometimes life-changing value looks like a coin nobody wants, until the right person looks twice. And here's the cliffhanger. Error specialists believe undiscovered varieties of the 2001 old and dirty state quarter are still waiting to be found. Errors so unusual, they haven't even been officially documented yet. Coins that could rewrite price guides overnight. So here's what you do right now. Check your quarters, especially the ugly ones, especially the dark, dull ones, especially any 2001 coins you almost tossed back. Because that pocket change could be big money. It could be hidden treasure. It could be life-changing value. And the next coin we're covering has already shocked collectors worldwide. Stop what you're doing, because this exact coin, a dirty, grimy, seemingly worthless 2003 state quarter, could be big money you didn't even know you had. We're talking hidden treasure hiding in plain sight. Coins that look old and worthless but can fetch hundreds, thousands, even life-changing value when the right error is discovered. You might be staring at one right now and thinking, it's just another quarter. But this story starts with a mysterious twist that almost every serious collector knows. Back in 2003, the U.S. Mint was under immense pressure to crank out millions of state quarters from Philadelphia. And when that happens, errors slip through. And some of those errors are stunning. Here's the first shocker. Standard 2003 quarters are everywhere. Most are worth just face value, or $1 or $2 in uncirculated condition. Coinvaluechecker.com. 1. But that's the catch. The common ones hide the rare ones. The snowball effect begins when a coin doesn't look normal, and that's where the magic happens. Imagine this. Someone picks up a 2003 quarter, old and dirty, tarnished and discolored, tosses it in a jar, and years later finds that same coin could be worth big money because of a dramatic minting error. That's real life. That's the hidden treasure hunt we live for. Now let's reset your attention with something truly surprising. In the 2003 quarter series, multiple authenticated error varieties have sold at auction for real money. For example, a 2003 Denver quarter with an inverted mint mark sold for around $1.230 at heritage auctions. Coinvaluechecker.com. 2. A no mint mark state quarter from 2003 with an incorrect reverse die error brought about $1.000 when graded MS66. Coinvaluechecker.com. 2. And a 2003 Mississippi quarter with a missing clad layer, where the outer silver layer is missing and the copper core is exposed, sold for around $7.45. Coinvaluechecker.com. 2. Those aren't fairy tales. Those are documented auction results. So how do you spot a potential winner? First, look at the date. It must boldly read *2003*. But most collectors stop there. The real value hides in the details. Second, check for the mint mark. A P means Philadelphia. Without a mint mark, you're still in the game, because early Philadelphia coins often slip through errors. Coin identifier. 3. Third, take a close look at the color and surface. An old, dirty look can be a clue, not just wear. If the coin has an odd brownish or darkened appearance that doesn't wipe off, that could indicate a missing clad layer or metal anomaly from minting. Remember, a missing outer layer can expose the reddish copper core underneath, and those are very collectible. Coinvaluechecker.com. 2. Fourth, observe the edge and rim. A normal quarter has a copper core sandwiched between silver-colored layers with evenly spaced reading, tiny ridges. If the edge looks smooth, uneven, or shows the copper core prominently where it shouldn't, that's a major red flag for hidden errors. Now let's reset your focus again with another jaw-dropper. There are die clash and die crack error 2003 quarters that bring substantial premiums. Die clashing happens when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them, leaving ghostly images on the coin. In 2020, a no-mint mark Louisiana quarter graded MS64 with a pronounced die clash error sold for about $9.50. Coinvaluechecker.com. 2. That's almost $1.000 for what many would call a dirty quarter. Die cracks, raised lines on the surface caused by a cracked die, aren't just scratches. They are mint errors that can send a quarter's auction value into the hundreds. One 2003 Georgia quarter with raised die crack sold for around $600. Coinvaluechecker.com. 2. That means ordinary metal flow errors could be your ticket to life-changing value if you know what to look for. Take another deep breath, because here's a twist collectors dream about. Missing clad layer errors aren't just copper peeking through. Some errors actually change how the entire coin was struck, altering its weight and feel. Coins that feel off when you handle them, lighter, or with weird toning, could be hiding a significant mint mistake. Coinvaluechecker.com. 1. And here's where it gets inspirational. Most error coins aren't found in albums, they're found in pocket change. People find them in rolls from banks. They find them in jars, drawers, and forgotten piggy banks. Someone once found a rare error that sold for thousands just by not tossing an ugly, dirty quarter away. That's the exact spiritual thrill of this hobby. The idea that hidden treasure is swirling around our daily lives, unnoticed, until someone like you pays attention. So tonight, when you pull quarters out of your wallet, take a moment. Look at the year. Inspect the mint mark. Feel the weight. Examine the rim. Because that grimy old 2003 P quarter might be worth hundreds, maybe thousands if it reveals one of these error traits. And let's finish with a cliffhanger to keep you on the edge of your collector's seat. There's a rare variant tied to this same series, a dramatic error where the coin was struck on the wrong metal planchet entirely, and authenticated examples of that variety have sold for amounts that could actually change someone's life, 4 figures and beyond. But almost no one expects it to exist in common circulation. So check your coins tonight. Really check them. And if you want to unlock more secrets like this and uncover more hidden treasure, don't just watch, subscribe. Because the next story we're breaking might make you rethink your change jar forever. Stop scrolling, because the one old, grimy quarter most people think is trash could actually be big money. I'm talking hidden treasure right in your pocket that could turn into life-changing value if you know what to look for. Today we're diving into the mysteriously collectible 2018 D-State quarter, the one that looks old, dirty, maybe even worthless, until you uncover its secret. This coin story starts not in a museum, but in a factory filled with humming presses, worn dies, and sticky grease. In 2018, the Denver Mint was racing to produce millions of America the beautiful quarters, including the Denver-struck designs like Cumberland Island, Block Island, Voyagers, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. Conditions were far from perfect, and when coins are struck at high speed under imperfect conditions, that's when the mysterious errors that collectors crave slip through. Coinvaluechecker.com. 1. Now here's the first jaw-dropping fact you need to hear. While most 2018 D quarters are worth only face value, some error varieties from this year have sold for hundreds, even over $1,000. One known example of a 2018 quarter with a missing clad layer error, where the nickel outer layer is absent and the reddish copper core shows through the design, sold for a remarkable $200 at auction. That's big money for what looks like an old and dirty quarter. Coinvaluechecker.com. 1. So how do you spot this kind of hidden treasure yourself? First, you need to know what you're looking at. Date and mint mark asterisk. Start by checking the date, 2018, and look for that tiny D under the date. That tells you the quarter came from the Denver Mint, and some of the most dramatic errors documented for this year were Denver strikes. Coinvaluechecker.com. 2. Color and surface asterisk. A normal quarter should be silvery and consistent. But error quarters often have unusual coloring, dark patches, coppery spots, or a mismatched surface that doesn't rub off like dirt. For example, a missing clad layer error exposes that deep copper core on one side, and that's exactly what collectors don't want you to ignore. The color anomaly is often what makes these coins look old and dirty, even though the fault happened at the mint. Coinvaluechecker.com. 1. Rim and edge details asterisk. A standard quarter has evenly spaced reading, those tiny ridges around the edge. But error coins can show partial color errors where one part of the edge is smooth and the other is reeded, or they can be off-center strikes where the design is shifted, leaving part of the rim blank. In 2018, off-center variations, where the design was struck significantly askew, have been documented to sell for around $200 or more, depending on how far off-center the strike is. Coinvaluechecker.com. 1. Let's reset your attention right here, because the variety of errors in 2018 quarters is wild. Double die errors asterisk. These happen when the die strikes the planchette more than once from slightly different angles, causing a shadow or doubling effect in the lettering or design. A 2018 Michigan quarter with a distinct double die sold for about $30 at auction. Modest at first glance, but for an error coin found in circulation, that's nothing to scoff at. CoinValueChecker.com. 1. Struck through / grease errors asterisk. Sometimes grease, cloth fibers, or debris get between the die and the blank metal, resulting in strange bumps, blobs, or missing details on the coin surface. While some struck-through errors on 2018 quarters have sold for only $10 to $20, collectors know that stronger, more dramatic struck-through examples, especially those that distort the design, can fetch significantly higher prices. CoinValueChecker.com. 1. Every minute we go deeper, something more shocking pops up. Let's talk missing clad layer errors. These are the real eye-grabbers for collectors. Unlike minor surface oddities, a missing clad layer means the nickel outer layer didn't bond correctly to the copper core before striking. The result? One side of the coin might look nearly normal, while the other glows copper brown, like a secret underneath. That's exactly the kind of hidden treasure other collectors are hunting for. CoinValueChecker.com. 1. And here's a tip that separates serious hunters from casual viewers. If you find a 2018 D quarter that feels lighter than normal, that's not imagination. Missing metal can reduce the weight noticeably. Collectors often weigh suspect coins to see if they deviate from the standard 5.67 grams expected for a proper clad quarter. A noticeable weight difference may signal a missing layer and dramatic error. CoinValueChecker.com too. But don't stop there. Some error types are subtler, yet still valuable. Partial collar errors occur when the blank wasn't fully held by the collar during the strike, producing one side with normal edge ridges and the other oddly smooth. These can be striking and are way more collectible than your everyday circulation coin. CoinValueChecker.com. 1. Off-center strikes, especially when the date and key design elements remain visible, can be worth significant premiums, sometimes a few $100s, because they're dramatic and unmistakably mint errors. CoinValueChecker.com. 1. And here's a reminder. Auction results and certified coin population guides, like those tracked by PCGS or NGC, show that condition matters enormously. An error that's sharp, clear, and with deep contrast between struck areas and blanks will always command higher prices than a smudged or indistinct version. CoinValueChecker.com too. Now here's a fact that will blow your mind. In the broader 2018 quarter series, some uncirculated coins, especially from Denver and San Francisco, have hit high four-figure prices when graded perfectly at MS68 or better. For instance, top-tier 2018 D Cumberland Island quarters have been known to trade around $2,900 in MS68 grade. CoinValueChecker.com too. That's the kind of life-changing value that transforms a dusty jar of coins into a treasure trove collectors dream about. So after everything you've heard so far, the errors, the auction facts, the real frighteningly valuable examples, it comes down to this. When you're sorting through your change, don't just glance at the date. Examine it, feel it. Look at that rim. Check the color. Look for double images, missing parts, misstrikes, uneven edges. Each 2018 D that looks old and dirty might just be a piece of hidden treasure waiting to be recognized. CoinValueChecker.com. 1. And here's the cliffhanger you're not going to want to miss. There are rumored but rarely authenticated mule errors and dramatically off-metal strikes from the 2018 series that numismatists whisper about. Coins that, if ever verified, could fetch values rivaling the most famous error coins in history. That's a story we're exploring next, and it might be even more shocking than anything you've heard today. So check your quarters tonight, really check them. And if you want more secrets about big money, hidden treasure, and coins with life-changing value, make sure you subscribe now, because some of the greatest finds in the quarter series are still waiting to be discovered.